Now, before doing anything, I want to show you the network settings of my Kali machine. So I'm going to select it here. I'm going to go to Settings, Network. And as you can see, it's set to use a NAT network. So now, if I go to my Kali machine and do ifconfig, we'll see we have an interface called ETH0. This interface is a virtual interface created by VirtualBox because we set this machine to use a NAT network. You can also see that this interface has an IP address, which means that it is properly connected to this NAT network, and it will provide the Kali machine with internet access as long as my host machine right here has internet access. So now on my Kali, if I go and let's say if I just go to bing.com on my browser, you'll see that I can successfully go to the website because Kali is connected to the internet through this virtual interface that is called ETH0. Now, if we go back to our diagram that shows what we need to create an access point, you can see that we need an interface that is connected to the internet. We don't care what type of interface this is, as long as this interface has internet access. So in our example, we're going to be using ETH0 to provide our fake access point with internet access. The other interface that we need, we said that this needs to be a wireless adapter that is able to act as an access point. Again, if I go back to the result of my ifconfig, you can see I already have a wireless adapter connected to this computer. It's called LAN 0. Keep in mind that this is in managed mode. It's not in monitor mode. And it is not connected to anything. So you can see it does not have an IP address. This is very, very important. It needs to be, first of all, in managed mode, and second, not connected to any network. So even if we go at the network manager in here, you can see we have wired connected. This is my ETH0, and Wi-Fi not connected. Once we have everything configured properly, you're ready to use Mana. And before we started, we should modify its settings. Mana's settings are stored in a text file. So to edit the settings, we're going to open this file and edit it using LeafPad, which is just a text editor. So I'm going to type LeafPad, followed by the location of the file that we want to modify. And the settings file for Mana is stored in etc mana toolkit hostapd mana.conf. So all we're doing with this command is we're using a text editor called LeafPad to open a file that is stored in this path. So when we hit enter, you'll see we have the text editor here opening the file for us. And all of these are the settings that you can modify for Mana. You can actually get a full list and a full description of all the settings that you can modify in this link. But we don't need this for now. The main thing that you need to modify is the interface. This is the interface that you want to use to broadcast the signal. So basically it is this component, and in my example, this is going to be LAN 0. This is my wireless interface. So I'm keeping this the same. The next thing that you might want to modify is the SSID. This is the network name that will appear when people look for Wi-Fi networks. I'm going to keep this as internet, so when people look for networks, they will see my fake access point under this name. So I have nothing to save right now, but if you modified anything, make sure you save the file from File Save and then close it. And the next file that we'll need to modify is the start script. This is the file that will actually start Mana Toolkit for us. Again, we're going to use LeafPad to open and edit this file. So we're going to type LeafPad followed by the location of Mana's start script, which is in user share Mana toolkit run mana start not simple.sh. Now, in this file, there are two main things that you need to modify. The first one is the upstream interface. This is the interface that has internet access. So this is this component right here. And as we've seen before, this is ETH0 in my case. So I'm going to leave this the same. The next one, the PHY, is again the interface that is gonna broadcast the signal. So in my example, this is my wireless adapter and it is called LAN 0, not LAN 1. So I'm actually gonna modify this to LAN 0. Then I'm gonna save it, Control S, and quit it, Control Q. And that's it. We're ready to start the fake access point. And like we said before, we're going to be starting it using this script right here, the start not simple. That's why we modified it. So all we have to do is I'm going to copy this because that's its location. So in order to start it, because this ends with a .sh, we're going to do bash followed by the location of the script. So when we wanted to modify it using a text editor, we used a program called LeafPad followed by the path of the file. Right now, we don't want to modify it. We want to execute the code inside it. The code inside it is a bash script code. That's why we're saying I want to run this file using bash. Now I'm gonna hit enter. And as you can see, it's telling me that the access point is enabled and I can press enter to kill the access point, so to exit it. Now, sometimes the first time that you run this script, it will not work. It will actually give you an error. So it's a good idea to actually just run the code again, literally the same command. If it fails, if it complains about a specific error, just run the command again and it might work. If it didn't work for the second time, then ask me in the Q&A section and we will respond to you and help you fix this issue. So now let's go and try to connect to this network and see if it actually works. So right here I have a Windows machine. It's another virtual machine, but I have another wireless adapter connected to this machine. Do not test this from your host machine because the fake access point is getting its internet access from the host machine through the NAT network. So if you test this network from the host machine, the network will not work. So either test it from another virtual machine with another wireless adapter, or if you don't have another wireless adapter, then you can test it from your phone or from another laptop or any other computer within range. But do not ever test it from the host machine. So right here, I'm going to search for networks to connect to. And as you can see, I have a network called Internet. It does not use a password, so I'm just going to connect to it. As you can see, I'm connected now, and I'm going to open Firefox just to check if I have internet connection. So I'm going to go to bing.com. And as you can see, bing.com is loading. So now I actually have internet access. So now anything I do on this computer will have to be sent to the access point. If I want to access any websites, if I enter any passwords and usernames, everything is gonna go to the access point. And the access point is the hacker machine. So the hacker machine is already the man in the middle. So now you're at the same position that you would be after running an ARP spoofing attack. So you can go ahead and use Wireshark to sniff packets and analyze them, or you can go and use man in the middle F exactly as I showed you before. The only thing that you need to keep in mind when using Wireshark or Man-in-the-Middle-F or any other tool, you need to set the interface to the interface that is broadcasting the signal. So this is the interface that you set in the PHY option, not in the upstream. So in my case right now, this would be LAN 0, not ETH0. Also, if you're going to use Man-in-the-Middle-F, theoretically, you wouldn't need to use the --ARP --spoof argument, but I noticed that the tool will not work unless you add that argument, so you can add it in and you'll see that it'll work exactly as shown before.